So we all have had reasons for coming to Chicago and for building our careers here. But what will draw future generations here? And more importantly, what will keep people here? And so maybe Hardik, you've seen a lot, and now from your perch at Amazon, you've got a really interesting perspective. Love to hear your thoughts on that.
No, absolutely. And I think, again, here's the thing, right? I've hosted, Michael Krause and I have hosted you guys, many of you guys at the Mayor Daley's Technology Council in the last decade, last as in the previous one, the 2006 to 2010 timeframe. And at that time, we were all kind of talking about how do we build our innovation ecosystem, the startup ecosystem. And at that time, we were talking about, we've got this great 4 Rs, river, rail, road, and runway. I think we already have that. But beyond that, now we've got this great 4 Cs, which is the code, capital, customers, and connections, which is what startups and the innovation ecosystem is looking for. And that's what we also have, like successful entrepreneurs, like we've got Sam right here on call with us, with Jay Shekhawat, Sean Chow, Chris Gladwin. We've got some amazing role models who are actually circulating capital in Chicago. We've got P33 working very hard to change our image worldwide. I think that's where we need to work a little bit harder on, where the narrative of Chicago, even when people talk about violence, they bring Chicago, they bring Al Capone. We need to start changing that. Even when they talk about politics, they bring Chicago, they bring Illinois, which is also, Andrea can attest to that Chicago and Illinois politics is changing quickly. The governments are working very hard to kind of invite people, keep them here, grow our economy, and so on and so forth. I think I'm very, very positive about all of the reasons why Chicagoans would stay here and why future generations would want to come here. One thing we cannot change is weather, but I think we should deal with it. I think this is the best place to get all 4 weathers. You won't get that in Florida, won't get it in Texas, you'll get it here.
And with global warming, it's playing to our strengths here. It's funny because I remember I had a series of board meetings in 2006, 2 in the Valley, 1 in New York, and I looked at the sales pipeline of every single one of the companies. And there was this huge bar of the region that was Midwest where all of our sales were coming from. And then there was a smaller bar and it was Northeast, and then a smaller bar was West Coast. And I had that epiphanal moment there, which is, wait, there are more Fortune 500 companies here than any other region in the US. And let's be honest, that is the lifeblood of innovation. You either get, customers that are paying you money or not. And so I've always found that was, amongst other things, including community, really powerful and important here. Sam, what about
you? Hey, Matt, I know I just want to touch back on that climate change thing you talked about. I do want you to just note that we are incredibly climate change resilient. We have water. We're not at risk for some of the weather issues that they have on the coast. And it's going to matter in the coming days, and particularly when it comes to cost, when it comes to disruption. When you think about some of the disruptions that have happened on the West Coast and the East Coast. So it really is not a small thing. And given that climate change is continuing and increasingly to have impacts on businesses and on where people want to live, that we are incredibly resilient and have that as a strong strength for where people might want to be. So I just don't want to, since you touched on it, I thought I should highlight that we're not going to be on fire anytime soon.
Right, or flooding or the many other things.
Matt, I'd like to build on something that Hardik said, which is, that we have a lot of strengths here to attract people. And as you know, being part of P33, one of the things that I think we all need to begin to capture in memory are some of the reasons why people should come to Chicago. There's a lot of competition for cities, for talent, especially those who are leaving the coastal hubs. But we have an incredibly compelling story. One, we have an incredible diverse economy with no single industry capturing more than 14% of the market. We have 6,151 tech companies, and that's more than all but 2 cities in the United States. We're ranked very highly in the production of STEM business and management degrees. We're third in computer science, seventh in STEM, and we're a really affordable city. You know, if you look at San Francisco has a cost of living that is 64% higher than Chicago. So despite our weather, we have real livability here. And, you know, as Hardik mentioned, P33 is focused on activating our tech community, bringing it together, our community, so that we can have opportunity for everybody. And I think as we become our city's best cheerleaders and our city's best spokespeople, there are reasons why people should come to Chicago and why they should stay here. We have lots of opportunity and great opportunities for people to remain here.
But well said, very, very well said.